Good evening and welcome to Suffering in Silence with Pastor Tia here on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We're here with you every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Love Bay, we are continuing to rise out of the ashes together. Our topic on tonight is check on your strong friends. And we have with us our co-host minister, Ayana Marks. And our guest for this evening is Dr. Sakela Coles, who is the author of Chocolate Girls Poems, Because Life Can Be Poetic. And so before Ayana and Dr. Coles greet you all, I want to start tonight with a correction. So our program on last night, we talked to Kathy from Crossing Paths Animal Rescue. And so I wanted to make a correction and point out that Adopt a Pet is a platform where different rescue shelters and organizations and also private owners can post the animals that they have for adoption. So adoptapet.com, that's their website, is where I found Crossing Paths Animal Rescue. So it is Adopt a Pet that has the different organizations and also private owners. So I wanted to throw it out there and make that correction because my thought was that Crossing Paths had posted the private owners. So I wanted to throw that out there. So Ayana, if you would start with just greeting our listeners and viewers on tonight. So Ayana, you froze a bit. I can't hear you. So Dr. Coles will go to you.
Awesome. Good evening. Happy Friday. Happy February. Happy Black History Month. Thank you, Pastor Tia and Love Bay Radio for welcoming me back. I was here in early August, and we shared some stories. We talked about domestic violence as it impacts Black women, and I shared some poetry. And I know that tonight we're focusing on checking in on your strong friends.
Yes.
And just the kind of like break the silence or to get us started, kind of like an icebreaker. I was just going to share part of a poem. This poem is focused on friendship, sisterhood, love, and it is called Sister Friend Love. And this is a poem that I wrote in 2024 that I published in my first poetry book of Chocolate Girls Poems. And again, this poem is called Sister Friend Love. I've been blessed to enjoy this thing called Sister Friend Love. I call it a blessing because it's like heaven sent from above. It's having someone that always has your back, whether it's to listen to you cry over a man or when you're under attack. It's that friend that's like family, you know. You can bust it up over a glass of wine or blaze some good hydro. Your family and all your circle knows her. She can make you laugh until it's all a blur. Whatever you are stressing or mad about, she's like, I'm on my way. You need to get out. And before you know it, you are out dancing, drinking, laughing, and enjoying yourself. So thankful to have my fun, loving sister friends that make me feel good about myself. I thought that poem was the one that most closely tied into the theme of checking in on your strong friends.
Yes. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing it with us. And Ayana, before you greet our listeners and viewers on tonight, Dr. Sakela, tell us where your books, your poems are available.
Most definitely. So my books are available online you can go to my website, drsakelacoles.com. That's DRSCKELA coles.com. You can also go to amazon.com. And if you type in my name or if you type in Chocolate Girls Poems, you will be redirected to my two poetry books as well as educational educational parenting book that I wrote for parents that look like us of high school youth, and also with an adult series that I wrote for people that look like us. So
Awesome.
I'm focusing on us and all of the things that I do.
Thank you so much. With that, Ayana, if you would greet our listeners and viewers on tonight.
Good evening, everyone. It's Minister Ayana here. And first and foremost, I would like to thank you all for continuing to listen and support the podcast. I hope you all stayed warm this week. I hope you all stayed comfortable this week. We have an amazing topic this week. Check on your strong friends. And it's amazing to talk to Dr. Sakila again to get her point of view on different things. So I hope we give y'all the reassurance that you guys need as well as the comfortability that you guys need as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we're going to share a few resources, and then we're going to go right into our topic. Ayana, we're going to start with you because actually, I don't know if I told you, Dr. Sakila, but this is Ayana's thought. This topic came from Ayana. So we're going to go right to her after we share these resources. First, we're still in the process, Rise Out of Ashes, Inc., of raising funds for what we do, supporting victims and survivors of domestic violence. So if you want to help us, you can go to GoFundMe, look for our donation link, which is Rise Out of the Ashes, Inc. You can also write a check if you like. We're at P.O. Box 15, Drexel Hill, PA 19026. Again, we are a 501c3, so all donations are tax deductible. Also, you can purchase my book, Suffering in Silence, which is on Amazon. We use proceeds from my book to support victims and survivors financially. What we do is we help hugely with transitional resources. A huge part of what we do is immediate and emergency funding. We help victims and survivors financially with transportation, doctor's visits, medicine, food, clothing. We've helped some individuals move from one location to another to be in a safe space. We were able to help a couple women get out of state into a new home, new surroundings. So we're doing what we can do, but we need your help to do that, to continue to do that. I want to share the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services National Helpline. Their number is 800-662-4357. Befrienders volunteer action to prevent suicide. Their website is befrienders.org. You can find a helpline by your country if you visit their website. I want to share the National Domestic Violence Hotline in the United States. Their website is thehotline.org. Their number is 800-799-7233. In Canada, we have the Canadian Women's Foundation. Their website is canadianwomen.org. Their number is 866-293-4483. And in the UK, we have the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. Their website is nationaldahelpline.org.uk. And their number is 0808-20-00247. Or additionally, you can visit Women's Aid, AID. Their website is womensaid.org.uk. And with that, again, we move into our topic on tonight, check on your strong friends. And so, Ayana, as I said, I want to start with you and give you the opportunity to explain and expound on your thought, check on your strong friend. So what is it that you actually meant when you made that statement? And not just when you made that statement, but when you said it, I could feel your emotion behind it. I could feel the seriousness of your words behind it. So tell us what you meant.
Okay, so when I said like check on your strong friends, I meant it in a way where sometimes the strong friends in the group or the strong betraying ones seem to mask things a lot because they don't want to seem like a burden or they don't want to seem like they're putting all their problems onto somebody else. You know, people got life problems as well, but sometimes they don't want to feel like they want to throw their problems onto somebody else. So they feel like they can take it all in on their own and still be strong for everybody else. Like sometimes you can see them with a smile on their face, you can see them joking around, you can see them happy and uplifted, but sometimes they just need to, like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? Do you need
Mhm.
to what's going on mentally? How are you mentally? Sometimes they just need that. They just need to be. They just need someone to be for them what they are for everybody else. Like sometimes they just need.
Okay.
Sometimes they just need a sense of realization that you have somebody to come to. You don't have to bear things on your own. And I don't think it's really like portrayed well, especially in my generation, because sometimes we'll see our friends happy and smiling and joyous, and we're thinking, okay, everything is peaches and cream, but on the inside it's not peaches and cream. On the outside they have to portray to be a certain way, but on the inside is something that's totally different. So that's what I meant when I said like check on your strong friend, just to make sure that they're okay.
So I think you stated that beautifully, and I think that it's very telling and it's interesting that we have freshmen, we have sophomores, we have juniors in college with this train of thought, which stems from the experiences that they've encountered. Like we have our young people who are having to be strong for themselves and having to be strong for others while they're dealing with challenges. And I mean our young people, our babies in college, 18, 19, 20, 21, they're dealing with domestic violence. They're dealing with suicidal situations. They're dealing with drug and alcohol abuse. They're dealing with homelessness in college. We have students in college who are going through programs and they're homeless. Um, and not even to mention the mental and emotional struggles with depression and anxiety. And we have some of our kids going through this and still at the same time trying to be that shoulder, that support, for their group or for their family, for their community, for others around them. So Dr. Sakayla, if you would chime in and
No,
give
I
us.
just think it's important that we recognize that being strong doesn't mean that we're okay. Um, Black women, we carry a lot of emotional, familial, and community responsibilities, but we still receive less care in return from everyone. From everyone, we give so much care and we receive less in return, and it's this whole strong Black woman expectation. We're praised for being strong. We're praised for being resilient. We're praised for being self-sacrificing. It almost comes like innately a part of our being, that whole self-sacrificing, and that can become a burden, right? So, like being strong is like something that's assumed and it's something that's not chosen, but there seems to be this expectation of the strong Black woman when we center or think about any of the Black woman's experience. Where our pain is minimized. I mean, we see that with now all of a sudden in like into 2025 and beginning of 2026, there's this focus yet now of like the maternal health rate amongst Black women in this country, but this isn't something that just started. So like our pain, our trauma is always minimized. It's not really respected. It's not talked about. Like even us coming here talking about it, we like this doesn't happen on a regular basis. We don't allow that time for us to really appreciate the struggles we've gone through. And even if we haven't directly gone through different situations or different struggle, it's in our DNA via our ancestry that has gone through it. Whether that's just dealing with the generational trauma, or going back decades and centuries ago, back to the enslavement of our ancestors. But yeah, so it's definitely this strong Black woman expectation, and I guess we have to blame ourselves because we're so great. We're so we're so awesome.
Just
Pastor
so good
Tia,
at it.
Minister Ayana, like we doing too much. We doing big things. We're doing big things, and because we do big things, people are constantly expecting more from us.
Mm-hmm.
That might not be fair, that might not be right, but let's at least understand where that's coming from. That's coming from our greatness, our glory, and our ability to multitask. So
Yeah.
that's taken advantage of. Um, there's like an invisibility of pain, right? For Black women, whether it's physical or emotional, our pain is either minimized or ignored or normalized. Whether that we're talking about social relationships, whether we're talking about, intimate relationships, or whether we're talking about even like workplace relationships. Our trauma, our pain is often, if not it's often ignored and minimized. um there's also the fact that there's not like enough of a respectability and silence for Black women, and this is regardless of whether we're in a workplace where it's majority us, right? Or it's, a little mixed DEI type of workplace. So just, myself personally, I've been through um like a lot of different, which might now looking back, they were traumatic, but like we're so used to surviving and just we keep going that we don't really acknowledge and take time to let go of our pain, like speak to it and let go of it. But so like we are expected to be the strong ones because we always present as strong. And we have to think about where do we find a balance with that. We
Right.
present as strong because we are strong, we're the descendants of great people from the continent, even though we were kidnapped, enslaved, and we are here where we are, we've still like excelled and like surpassed a lot of expectations that people did not have for us.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm a math teacher. And so, like, with it being Black History Month, but we know Black History is 365, 24/7. But with it being Black History Month, I'm blessed to have this amazing math coach in the district where I teach at who shared information about Black mathematicians, and just like, talking to my students about like Benjamin Banneker, but also going as far back and talking about Hotep, just to expose them to the fact that you come from greatness. People that look like you and I, we're intelligent, we're brilliant, we come from greatness, just to, to make sure that they're surrounded and lifted up and know that, I don't know, we just to know that there's so much more that they have in their DNA, in their environment, and reminding them that you have these adults that look like you, that support you and love on you. Because when I approach my students, I'm always thinking like my children, when they were in high school, did not have someone that looked like me to nurture, protect, and educate and care for them. I'm not saying that the teachers they had didn't do that. I'm just saying they didn't have somebody that looked like me. So I'm like always like extra, like I'm going off on one topic here, but I'm always extra making sure that our babies, that our youth are that look like us, that they know that we love them, we support them, we nurture them, and we got their back. So, but I mean, the same goes to when we're thinking of like within our peer groups, we have to check on our strong friends.
Yeah.
In particular, we need to have that conversation with Black women. We are always multitasking, doing so much, whether we're a mother, whether we're a wife, whether we're a grandmother or auntie or an educator or a nurse or a counselor or a social worker. We are by nature very, very skilled at being protectors and nurturers and encouragers, and we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, that we're kind of like how we now this new trend of making sure you care for the caregiver. We have to make sure we take care of ourselves. As Black
Yeah.
women, we wear so many hats. We wear so many hats, and we have to make sure we take care of ourselves. And in that same token, of course, yes, check on our strong friends.
Yes. So, Dr. Sakela, you said much of what leads into another question that I want to ask you. But before I do, I want to go to you, Ayana. I want to ask your thought, because the place, and I believe I could speak for myself and Dr. Coles, the place that we're coming from, when we can say, and when we know that it's something that needs to be done, check on your strong friends. We've lived a life of experience. I'm almost 50 years old.
Yeah.
So by my experience of being almost 50 years old, I know what it looks like. I know what it's like. I know how that has to be done. Having said that, we've lived life. And not that you haven't lived, but you're not 50. And so, but it's like, but you're already of that mindset. Like, this is important, the mental and emotional health. And so I'm just like, my mind is boggled that this is what our kids in college already are having to think about. Like, we have experience
Our kids
behind
in high school.
Yes, like you're just starting.
Our
Y'all
kids in high
haven't
school are
started life
experiencing
yet.
things that we didn't experience just because of how. I need to let
Yeah,
Minister
so, I mean,
Ayana
but
just because
that's
of that,
it.
we didn't have like this rapid spread of information and communication via the technology and social media. Well, at least I'm 47. We didn't have that when I was in, like, the internet was a new thing when I was graduating college.
Wow.
Like, I was
Yeah.
typing papers on my roommate's word processor.
The word
So
processor.
now when no, I'm serious.
I
I'm
had a word
serious,
processor
Pastor
too.
T.
We
But
had a
now,
class.
like, and we look at what our
Had a
children are
computer
experiencing.
teach
They're
us how to use
experiencing,
the computers.
right? I know now
Yep.
is iPads and laptops. I'm like, listen, I remember
Y'all
when they first
laughing at us.
opened the computer lab. Hold up, Minister Ayana, you're at my alma mater. I remember when they first opened up a computer lab at Lincoln. I was writing paper. I was handwriting papers and turning them in. Or, like I told Pastor Tia, typing them up on
Yep,
my
typing them
roommate's
up.
word processor.
Yep.
But
So it's like, but we have that type of experience behind us. We have experience in the workplace. We have experience with our families, with relationships, and in our community. So it's like, we know our strong friends need to be checked on. We know we need to be checked on.
We need to be, so we're
experience.
strong, so we need to be checked on.
Yeah.
You know what
So,
I mean?
but Ayana, so my question to you is, like, how did you already get to the point of where we are? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, we have these years of experience behind us. You are just starting. So I just can't imagine the stress that our young people are under. So
Yeah.
Ayana.
So it really all stemmed from, I would say, starting high school. Because in elementary school and in middle school, you know, we were kids. We was just having fun, going through school, having fun, decided to go to school. But it really all came from when I started. Like, I'm blessed enough to be able to grow up in a 2-parent household with all my siblings. So I seen how my parents were able to, like, talk to us through our feelings and be able to help us out. And as I got into high school, I realized that, like, a lot of students or a lot of my peers didn't really know how to connect with their feelings. Like, sometimes they don't understand how they feel it, and it would just be, like, hard for them to communicate it. And as I got closer and connected with, like, some of my friends, especially during COVID, that's when I really noticed, and it really showed me how sometimes people could go throughout their day thinking like they can handle their own emotions, that they can mask all their pain and just hide it. But it's like, sometimes you can't just hold it in and hide it. Like, you really need to act, really need to, because you can, although they got smiles on their face, the eyes tell the truth. So you could look at somebody's eyes and see that it's tears held back in their eyes, and they fighting to even get throughout the day. Like, they're surviving, literally sitting in the desk next to you. They're surviving just to make it through the day. And it's like, for me, if I'm able to just reach out, ask if you're okay, give you a hug, tell you a joke just to make sure that you laugh, it's like, okay, at least I'm doing something to be able to make sure that you go home knowing that you are worth it, knowing that you belong here, knowing that somebody cares about you and that somebody actually loves you and wants to see you push through. And as I got to college, that's when I'm really like, okay, I have to make an impact. I have to be able to make a change, because a lot of people don't want to make that change. But I'm so blessed to be able to come to Lincoln, because I realized that not only do I want to make a change, so many people around me want to make that same change as well. So there's so many different resources we could go to. There's so many different organizations. There's so many different people we could go to. We even have our own our church here at the chapel, and the pastor is willing to help out. The people in leadership is willing to help out. So that's what really showed me that, like, it's okay to reach out and want to make a change. Like, that's what really persuaded me and pushed me.
That is I want to say that's amazing, but it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts for our young people to have to shoulder a burden in life that it's like, oh my goodness, you shouldn't have to be at that point already. You know what I mean? It's like, again, I know I've said it several times already. I'm almost 50 years old. Like, you haven't even got there. You haven't even got there yet. I want to share a part of an article. This is from Bayou Prahandito, Prihandito. And this is from January 9th, 2024. And this is his blog. It's Life Architecture. Life, ARCHITEKTURE.com. And his blog is entitled Check on Your Strong Friends, Why and How You Should Do It. So he says, check on your strong friends, the ones who stand as pillars in your community, offering shoulders to lean on and support without flinch. Their resilience is often a cloak that hides their own battles, and it's easy to overlook the cracks in their armor. He goes on to make the point that they might be silently struggling. It's not only about lending support, but it's about recognizing that everybody needs a check-in, especially those who never ask. There are some individuals who will never ask for help. They're never going to say, I need it. They're never going to, I guess, let themselves break down enough and just be that honest and say, yeah, I do need help. Because I find it very interesting how the strong person just feels like, I don't want to be a burden. Like, I've given everything to everybody else, but I don't want to be that burden. He goes on to make the point, and I believe, Dr. Coles, you said this earlier, strength doesn't mean that you're invincible. It really doesn't. And that to reach out to someone is a support to their mental health. And that is something that we absolutely need to do. So his article, again, let me give you his website again, because I believe it was a great article, and I believe you should go back and read it. It's, again, Check on Your Strong Friends, Why and How You Should Do It, from Life Architecture. But Dr. Coles, did you want to say something before I ask you this question?
No, when we think about checking on our strong friends, we have to think about that people assume strong friends, like they have it all handled. That's not the case. They just present strong to assist you with what you're going through.
Right.
But, people have to remember to ask them, are they okay?
Yeah.
And also, strong friends, they're normally like the ones that are checking in on others. So we have to be mindful of that. They're normally the ones that offer advice. They're the ones that show up. They're the ones that have this fear that they might be burdening other people. So they don't want to be seeming like needy or dramatic. And then in this country, we already have a problem where Black women are very conscientious of our emotions, because we don't want to be looped into that stereotype of the angry Black female, the angry Black woman, or just, having too much emotion. So we're very much always regulating and checking our emotions, making sure, we present as calm. Um, Also, what checking in should look like is like you should be specific, would be my recommendation. Like when you check in with your sister friends, when I check in with Pastor T, I need to be specific, not just Happy New Year, hey sis, we're getting together again soon to watch the Super Bowl or for the radio show. No, it needs to be Pastor Tia, what's good? What's is there anything that I can support you with the children or with, your family, or just we need to make sure that we are checking in on strong friends, because a lot of times they're always the ones that are showing up and helping us or helping other people. If
Yes.
we're the strong friend, we're all always the ones showing up for other people. So we have to make sure that that we're checking in and being mindful of our mental. We have to make sure, that we're not getting into the stereotypes or burdening one another. We got to be specific. Let me know if you need anything. Like, no, really, we really mean, do you need anything? How can I help you, sis?
Yeah.
We got to follow up. We got to make sure we're okay with being honest. Like everything our sister friends, our sisters, our friends, or whatever, our coworkers, our colleagues, everything they say isn't going to make us happy. That wouldn't even make sense. What our family says doesn't always make us happy.
Right.
How many times do I complain about my young adult children to my sisters or my friends? But how many times do I love on them and I'm so proud of them? So so we have to recognize people are going to piss us off even if we love them. So make sure that we're being honest and create that space where we can be honest and feel comfortable at.
Yeah.
And make sure that, we understand that being strong should include having proper rest and setting boundaries, taking breaks. And Black women shouldn't have to earn care by being strong. Care should be proactive, consistent, and mutual.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, let's maybe the three of us talk about when was the last time we checked in on someone that we considered strong.
Today, I did it today.
That's what's up.
But
That's
so
what's up.
I want to say before I ask you the next question, and listening to everything that you just said, and I think you made some beautiful points. I want to say to that individual or those ones that are checking in on the strong friend, be prepared to hear something that will shake you. Because, first of all, in your mind, for whatever reason, you've already built up a persona of this person, this individual. So you're already thinking they got it together. But when you are
Mm,
sincerely asking a question, how are you? What's going on? Do you need me? Do you need anything? And if they come back with XYZ, and this is not surface stuff, be prepared to hear something that may hurt you just because this person is hurting. So when you ask that real serious question, how are you? It's not always cake and flowers. It's not. So if you're going to ask the question, be real about it,
mhm,
and be real about what you would do with the response. Because if you're
mhm,
going to throw your hands up and say, I can't take this, I can't handle this, then you shouldn't try to put yourself in that position in the first place. Because like Dr. Coles and I, we're on a different level. If she's saying to me, what's up, what's going on, this is a person of the stature and maturity that I can say, this is what's happening right now. This is what I'm dealing with right now. So it's like I already know if a particular person in my circle is saying, I'm here, do you need me? I know who I can open up to. I know who I can share my heart with. And so when I'm sharing, they're prepared to hear whatever it is, even if they can't fix it. And it's not about fixing
mhm.
it. I want to say that it's not about fixing it. It's about being
That's
that
right.
safe
Being
space.
in community together, being in
That's
support, being
create.
in solidarity. Like I'm
That's
going
what
through
it's
this,
about.
sis. You know what I mean? Like let's not act like we don't all go through stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
that's
we're sitting here. Pastor T and I are both survivors of domestic violence in
Mm-hmm.
long-term relationships, right? So let's not act like we don't go through shit. I apologize for my language.
I mean, it is what it is. And you, the strong person, needs to know that they have a community, that they have support. And so again, I'm saying if you are declaring yourself, or if this person has leaned on you and said, yes, you're a part of my group, you're a part of my support, be prepared. If they actually need help, be prepared to hear what it is, because it might make you angry, it might hurt you, you might be upset, and you might not know what to do, and that's okay. But again, it's about creating that safe space for that strong person to be mentally and emotionally okay. So I wanted to throw that out there before I ask you this. Now, you earlier you already alluded to this and talked about it, but I wanted to ask you, do you think, and because we're particularly talking about women and Black women like right now,
That's right.
do
Let's
you think
focus on us, because everybody else gets focused on. So we need to focus on us.
and do you think that being that strong friend is a learned behavior? Just being there for everybody, like it's just, we you just naturally put yourself last, or is it that the strong person is just made that way? Like you just like you're like it is what it is. I can do it.
Yeah,
So which
but sis, I don't think it's like anybody being made that way. I think
Mhm.
that we have been conditioned this way. So, and then it's like, and we go based on what we see. So it just so happened that my mother was married and is married to a good man, right? My father is a awesome father and also awesome husband. So like I saw that positive storyline. I saw that loving, relationship. And maybe that had me kind of like a little bit like that, maybe they had my expectations misguided and thinking that all of the men are going to be like this. And years ago, because now I'm in my 40s. I got married at 23. It's now since divorce, but I think seeing how my father loved on my mother and just the respect and the care that he gave my mother, and then the adoration and the love and the respect that my mother gave my father, maybe that did have me right after college as a young adult thinking all thinking like, oh, this is how, all Black women and Black men are going to do one another. And that's not the case, because we are dealing in this country, and not just in this country, but globally, we're dealing with the trauma, and that's just not the case. And, we all have to learn our lessons differently. And, I'm sure there's a reason why I had the path that I had
Yeah.
and the lessons that I had. And I have my two babies, my two children by my ex-husband. They're now, one just finished college, and one is in her she'll graduate college next year. And without whatever transpired, I wouldn't have had them. And and I'm so proud of them, and I love on them and speak of them every day, even now as I'm going on. But yeah, so I think it's a learned behavior. I saw my mother and my father, and there's such such a beautiful couple, and it's just like such love and tenderness amongst them. Maybe that gave me a jaded expectation of what would happen when I did become a married woman. I also want to say we got to recognize that we in this country are the descendants of people that were kidnapped and enslaved. So that's, that trauma is in our DNA. And, I think just because of a lot of the learned behavior from trauma that will have us behave a certain way. And then naturally, as Black women, we're just so amazing, and we're nurturers. And we're like the play nurse. Even if we're not somebody's mom, we're their play mom, their play auntie. We're like in all these caring roles, even if we don't have the title or any pay for it. And I think because of that, we are constantly checking on others that there is not one to check on us unless it's one of our other sister friends. I think if anything, we need to talk about how do we ensure that our brothers or our sons, fathers, uncles, whatever, our lovers also check on us as the strong Black woman that we are.
Yeah. And you know what? It kind of just that thought is like, it kind of feels like, remember when Carl, when we were at your book reading, you were reading the
Yes,
so all right, that just
the
reminded me
of 2024. Why does that
Yep.
seem so long ago? Why is
I don't
time going
know.
so fast?
But it just, what you just said just reminded me again. So it's like, we need to be checked on because we're strong. But again, part of my strength is that I have to use that to make sure that you, husband, father, son, brother, are checking on me. So I said I have to expend more energy. I have to use part of my strength
I
for
think
that.
we've spent the energy, sis. I think we've spent the energy. I think it's about time for some other people to start stepping up. That's my personal
No,
opinion. I
right.
think
So
it's
no,
about
that's
time for other
what I
people to
mean.
start
So
stepping up and
they
checking on
should
us.
step up. But it's like, do I have to remind you to step up? Do I have to tell you to step up? Do I have to give you the
Well, then
hint?
that's not for you. If you got to
Yeah.
remind anybody, that's not for you.
Right.
You shouldn't have to remind anybody. As much as you do and as much as you give, you shouldn't have to remind anybody to check on you. So if
Right.
we're at the point where we got to remind somebody, then that person is not worthy of us.
And so that is what friends do, real friends. And can I say this? Friends, real friends, may not be a person you see every day. I have some serious, real individuals, friends who I can call on, who I may not see their face to face. I may not see, a couple years could go by before we're in the same room together. But our contact, our communication is true, and it's pure. So a real friend, it may not be somebody that you have physical contact with every day on a regular basis, but when you're there, you show up when you need to be there.
That's right.
That's a real friend.
That's right.
I want to share a little bit of another article, and this touches on some of the things we already covered. Basically, how can we check in? And this is an article written by Lauren Young. This is from February 24th, 2025. And her title is Check In on Your Strong Friends. They Need You Too. Her website is The Girl Initiative. No I in girl. I think this is so cute. THEGRL initiative.com. So Lauren goes on to say, we all have that one friend, the one who seems to have it all together, the one who's always smiling, always showing up, always making it look easy. She's the one people turn to when they need advice, support, or just a boost of energy. And maybe that friend is you. But here's the thing. Even the strongest people struggle. Even the ones who never complain, who always seem in control, who encourage everyone else. Sometimes they're the ones who need a lifeline the most. And these are some of the suggestions that Lauren gave, and some of these we already talked about. But the first thing is, and I believe Dr. Cole, you said this, ask the real questions. How are you really feeling? Don't just stay on the surface. Don't skate around. But if you mean it, then you ask the real question, how are you doing? And then actually listen without trying to fix the problem. You might have the answer or you might not. But it's more important to let that strong friend, let them, if they're trusting you to open up, let them just get it out. And I love this one. And I believe Dr. Coles, you alluded to this one earlier. Remind them that they are allowed to struggle. I do not know why it comes as a surprise to the strong person, like when you're having a weak moment. Like really, when something hits you, it comes like from the inside out, like a surprise, like dang, that really hit me. You are allowed to have a weak moment. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to just go sit down. You are allowed. So reminding them that they are allowed to struggle. Small gestures of kindness, sending a text, taking them out for coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner, send a little gift, just you would be surprised. And I want to say this, we're talking about real relationships. We're talking about real friendships. This is not something that just come out of the blue and like you look at your 1,000 connects on Facebook and you just start texting. No, we're talking about real relationship that you have built with real people that you come together with. The simplest thing, like, hey, what's up? Because when it comes from you, it means something different. It means something different when it's Sakayla saying, what's up? Like when you know what I mean? That it's a different
I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. And we need to really figure out what does it look like to normalize asking Black women what do they need? We need to really understand what can we just ask? What is it that we can do to show up better or to support?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the last time I was asked that, but I feel like we as sister friends, we're conscious. We now past a certain age and had children and been, with people and then divorced. Like we get like doing a real check-in. Like, what does it look like? What does it look like? How can we support you? And a lot of times when people hear support, they jump and think financial. Sometimes no, it's support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you need me to call? Do you need me to go with you to that meeting or to that court date or to do that with that child? Do you need me to get with that child because they'll respond better to me than you? Like, what does support look like? What do you need? How can I check on you? There's so many times I could think of things that would be supportive that have nothing to do with anything about finances. So we need to think about how can we support one another better? How can we make sure that it's a standard that people are checking in on our well-being? We cannot keep like being like the standard bearers for other people. We have to make sure that we're getting poured into and loved on and checked up on. And we start first with ourselves, but we support so many other people, but they don't support Black women.
Yeah. I think that's part of the relationship building. I think that's how you learn what I can do for you, how I can support you, is me learning and growing with you through those experiences. It's different when we rocking together in high school, and then we on a college campus, and then we get married, and then we going through a divorce. It's a different stage. But to have a person who is there with you, who's growing with you through all of those stages, or who just may be in your life for a season, growing with you through, a portion of your life, I think you learn what to do because you pay attention in that moment. And again, we're talking about real friends. We're talking about real relationships. So when you're with someone, when you're in somebody's presence, it's not always about me, I, what I want to do, what I want. When you are intentional about making sure that this friend is okay. I noticed that, you're not smiling, or maybe you smiling a little bit too much. Like you're a little bit too Joe right now. Like what's going on? I think you learn how to do that when you put the effort and the time into a real relationship. And it's not, I don't want nothing from you. I am at a point in my life where I believe that I've accomplished a lot of things. I've been successful in a lot of things. Dr. Coles is successful in a lot of things. Ayana has already, begun her path of success. But when
that's that LU Lincoln Lioness. I'm sorry, that's that orange and blue. I'm sorry.
When Dr. Coles and I come together, it's not about I need you for this. Like I need you to help me do whatever. No, I
But
care
you're my
about
sister. If you do need something from me, you know that you come to me and I do what I can to help.
No, I mean needing something in the way to use and take advantage of your gifts. Like that's what I mean. Like, so if I have a problem, if I got an issue, if I just need to talk, if I need an ear, I know, all right, Dr. Cole's got it. But I'm not in your presence because I want to get to know your community. I want to use your platform for my
Mhm.
benefit. You know what I mean? It's not about using each other. It's about the emotional stability, really being honest and wanting to make sure that you are okay. Wanting to make sure that, you know what, you can get up in front of that class and teach those kids math. You can get up and be who you are, be the mom that you need to be to your kids. I care about you as a person, not what you can do for me, not a benefit. Like I don't need you to hook me up with a meeting so I can, you know, that's not what it is. So again, I think it's about being mature and growing, which again, I have to say, I'm just flabbergasted because I'm almost 50 years old, and the place that we're in is like Ayana is already on that track. Our young people are already there. And I know how much hurt and pain I went through to get me to this point of where I am. So it's like, oh my God, our kids have not even lived life yet. And they're already having that burden on them on their shoulders. Like
We
some
got their back. We got their back. We
oh
got
I
their back.
you know I got you, I got.
Got their back. We there
But
for them.
yes, but
We there for
I'll say this,
Ayana. We're there for all the
Ayana,
young
and I
people. We
want,
there for
I'll
them.
give you, because we getting ready to go. We just under the hour. They went by fast. So I want to say this, and then Ayana, give you, really the final word. We got a few minutes. But of the list that from, what's her name again, Lauren Young, another thing that she was saying was to create the safe space. Create the safe space for your strong friends that they create for others. So that's the last thing that, I want to say. I think that's a beautiful thing. First of all, reminding them that they are allowed to struggle, and then creating that space
Mm-hmm.
for them to be able to open their hearts. I'm not trying to use you. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need you to hook me up. I don't need anything except to know that you are okay. And so with that, I thank you both for being here. Ayana, I want to ask you, for your final thought, and then Dr. Close, if you would close us out for the evening. But Ayana, I thank you so much for bringing this topic forward. I thank you for being who you are. I thank you for being who you are to your friends, to that circle, and just the leadership that's already on your shoulders. You're a leader in ministry. You're a leader on campus. And so I just really feel that right now. Um, and I pray that you get everything that you need. But I'm here. Dr. Coles is here, and I know your dad there, your dad and your mom. But Ayana, give us your final thought on tonight. Checking on your strong friends.
So first and foremost, I want to thank both of you guys because y'all was consistently making sure that not only the Black woman was seen, but also the Black students as well, high school students or college students or even middle school students. I think it's very important that adults also open their eyes and realize that sometimes their children, or not even just their children, the students who sit very in their classrooms or the students that they see just walking in the streets, that sometimes they're simply just not okay, and sometimes they don't know how to navigate through their emotions. And it's always important for the adults to see that and stop putting the blame on the students and stop putting the blame on the children to make them feel like they're less of, or that they're the problem in every situation. And also just a little quick reminder that healing stops when we stop pretending that healing starts actually when we stop pretending that we're okay. Once you stop pretending that you're okay, that's when your healing starts. And it's also very important that you see, and you realize when you're at the point where you need to let go of certain things. Sometimes we tend to hold on to things that we know are no good for us, and we think it's okay because we're so comfortable with it. And I realized that as walking through this HBCU, that so many students hold on to things that they are comfortable with, and that sometimes they are scared to let it go because they're so comfortable with it. And if I could just encourage anybody watching this, that it's okay to just let go. It's okay to just be free of things, because if you don't let it go, then you're holding your own self back, and you got so much potential. You got so many things you gotta achieve. Like, your story is just not ended. You can't put a period where God is putting a comma. You just gotta keep pushing. And to the strong friends out there, I see you. Doctor sees you. Pastor Tia sees you. We all see you, and we just want to make sure that you're okay. We just want to make sure that you keep putting one foot in front of another, and keep putting a smile upon your face. And even when it does hurt, it's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay to cry your eyes out. It's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay to type in your notes if you want to. And I know for my generation, we love typing in our notes. We love TikTok. So it's okay to type in your notes. It's okay to go on TikTok and reach out for help. It's okay to ask for help. You don't have to mask it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just be you, put a smile upon your face, have joy in your heart, and always make sure you're all right. Always put you first. Always put you first.
Awesome. Ayana, that was awesome. Look, Ayana, when you write your book,
Spoken like a true Lincoln lioness.
when you write your book, we gonna be there. We gonna be there at your book signings, right? We gonna be there. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ayana. So, Dr. Coles, would you close us out?
Yes, my
tonight?
sister. Okay, I'm closing out with this poem called "Why Do I Feel Powerful?" And sisters, this is for our haters. They all looking at me, questioning me to the T. I'm laughing quietly, not out loud, but holding my head up, all proud. Others are wondering where my strength emanates from. They tested me, tried me, hated me, thinking I wouldn't come. I'm switching along in my dress. Meanwhile, some of them looking a hot mess. I'm grinning from ear to ear, not caring about what anyone may hear. I push my braids to the side, letting my chocolate face smile wide. Then I wink and wave as I walk right by. No reason to be in fear, hide, or cry. I feel this great power, and I don't even know how it came to be. Why do I feel powerful? Someone or even everyone might ask. It's because I'm the product of great African lineage that will always outlast racist, sexist, or otherwise hateful talk. And I will continue to walk the walk. And that is a poem that I wrote in 2024 called Why Do I Feel Powerful? In my first poem book, Chocolate Girls Poems, because life can be poetic.
Awesome. Available on Amazon. Awesome. Thank you so much. Love Bae, check on your strong friends. Thank you, Minister Ayana, for being here. Dr. Sakayla Coles. Again, her books are available on Amazon. Chocolate Girls Poems, because life can be poetic. Love Bae, we're rising out of the ashes together. Check on your strong friends. If you want to catch up on previous episodes of our program, you can visit our YouTube channel, Surfing in Silence DV. Please also remember to like, share, and subscribe through whichever platform you're watching us by. We thank you so much for joining Suffering in Silence with Pastor Tia here on Love Bae Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We're with you every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Love Bae again. We're rising out of the ashes together. Good evening.